Welcome to the May edition of our Market Wrap. My name's Simon Pintado, representing the Buxton Real Estate Group. What a month that it was. It was the first month with the new legislation out there in the marketplace. The new legislation, which is what I talked about in the last video, obviously in relation to quote prices and statements of information being presented at properties. A little bit uncertain out there in the marketplace. I think it is purely and utterly just because of this new legislation. Properties now, they're being quoted accurately, and most of them, at least for Buxton and Bentleigh, are selling either within the range or very much close to what that range has been advertised out there to the public. So what used to happen, I said in the last video, people used to see a price add on 15-20%. Now, obviously that is trying to be abolished out there in the marketplace. So I think there's just a little bit of finding their feet out there in the marketplace, so to speak, for buyers who have been watching properties quoted one thing and selling for another, now actually being quoted accurately. Nonetheless, still a very successful month by way of auction clearance rates, with an average of about 78%. Which has dipped slightly, about 2% from what it has been for the last sort of probably 3 or 4 years, really, in all honesty, but more specifically the last 12 to 18 months. I think that's purely just because there has been a lot more property put onto the market in the last 6 weeks than there has been basically for the last 12 months. So we did find that there was a lot more property on the market. While clearance rates still remain very, very strong, it is still a great market. It probably has just sort of fizzled out a little bit in terms of competition because people have more choice. Well, in terms of the month itself, some huge results across the board. Buxton Bentleigh was involved in some 49 sales for the month, which is phenomenal. It's actually huge by way of volume. But to give you the highest sales of the month, starting from the lowest one, number 28 Campbell Street in Bentleigh was a beautifully renovated Californian bungalow that sold following the auction for $1,990,000. Next was number 46 Draper Street in Ormond. Once again, a really, really nice property in the McKinnon School Zone. That sold prior to auction for an undisclosed amount, but in the vicinity of 2.2 million. The next highest, and a new record for East Bentleigh now outside of the McKinnon School Zone. That was a beautiful, tailor-made, custom-built, one-of-a-kind home at number 43 Brooks Street in Bentleigh East. That has just broken the record by some $325,000. That record now in East Bentleigh for that particular property is $2,635,000 for Bentleigh East outside the school zone. Phenomenal build, a phenomenal price achieved as well, to be honest with you, and certainly raising the bar in East Bentleigh, both by way of standard of living and also price range now too, which is really exciting. And the highest sale of the month was number 1 Bourneville Avenue in Brighton East. That was a property that I personally sold prior to auction, and that was a 52 square, 6-year-old Metricon home in East Brighton that sold for 2.7 million. So certainly a lot of strength out there in the upper end of the market. Some of the most popular properties that I'm finding out there on, or at least for the month of May anyway, is blocks of land for development. They are far and few between, and they're becoming further and few between out there in the marketplace as more and more of them get developed. 2-bedroom villa units and high-end family homes. They are probably the 3 types of properties that are most sought after in today's day and age. So ladies and gentlemen, in wrapping up, if you're a buyer out there in the marketplace, certainly fantastic news for you, given that there is a lot more clarity around how properties are quoted and a lot more property on the market too. For vendors, still there is a lot of heat in the market. People are still, as I mentioned in the last part of the video, still paying a lot of money for development sites. And obviously people are still paying good money for good family homes in great locations. So certainly all good news on the real estate front. It's going to be a busy couple of weeks, probably a busy 2 months up until the end of the financial year by way of real estate. There is going to be a lot of auctions, certainly up until the end of June. July typically is a very quiet month in terms of real estate. But for now, thank you for watching. My name's Simon Pintado from the Buxton Real Estate Group. I can't wait to see you in the June edition of our Market Wrap. Thank you.